some of the reasons why we don't save money. Why do we find ourselves in situations where we are not saving money? So I talked about debt. The reason why we don't save money is because we are paying back debt. We have a lot of debt that we are paying, which means we no longer have residual income. We don't have any money left after we pay our expenses and our debt. We also find ourselves in situations where we don't have a written budget. We don't write down how much money we have to spend, so we end up spending way more than what we have, or we have surprise expenses that we've never budgeted for because we don't sit down and write. And then also another reason is financial literacy. Some of the reasons why we find ourselves and not being able to save, not having residual income, is because we are not financially literate. We don't understand interest, we don't understand profit, expenses, we don't understand budgeting, we don't understand leverage. We get more money, but we end up spending way more than what we get because we don't understand the type of streams of income that we have, how to plan our finances, how to plan our expenses. So now I'm going to be talking about point number 4. Point number 4 is the reason why we don't save money. We find ourselves living beyond our means. And what does it mean to live beyond your means? Living beyond your means, it means that you have a certain amount of income and you have a certain amount of expenses that are way bigger than your income. So in this situation, you are living beyond your means. A practical example would be somebody who's working and they are making an income, or somebody who's grinding, hustling, they are making 1,000, but they have expenses in their life which are necessary living expenses, or some of them they are self-inflicted expenses which are not necessary. But all these expenses, they fall under the category of expenses. They end up being above that 1,000 rand. They make 1,000, but their expenses are 1,005. So this means that this person is spending way more money than what they have. But you can ask yourself, how is this possible? How is a person able to spend 1,005 if they only made 1,000? So this means that this person is getting the money from somewhere. All right, they are getting this money from either a bank, they are loaning them, or that they are lending them, they're borrowing this money from the bank, or they are getting it from friends and family. They are borrowing this money from friends and families to be able to cover their lifestyle or even necessary expenses that they have which are more than their income. This person still has to live, still has to go to work, still has to entertain themselves, still have to eat. So how do they eat? They end up borrowing money just to cover for food, and this is a normal regular circumstance or phenomenon in South Africa and African countries. A lot of people have to borrow just to pay for electricity. People have to borrow money just to pay for food. You have a certain amount of money that you spend on your groceries, but you consume more